Analytics and big data. What is a miner? A computer user who validates processes blockchain transaction. Absolutely right. A computer user who validates the transactions are valid and processes the blockchain is called a miner. A type of blockchain or miner is not a blockchain, an algorithm that predicts the next step in the blockchain. This is incorrect because there is no prediction of the next step in a blockchain. Anything can happen. A person who is authorized to delete blocks from a blockchain. No one can delete a block from a blockchain. That's an impossibility. If you want to do it, you have to do at least 50% deletions from the entire ecosystem, which is an impossibility. Next. All of the following are correct statements regarding the big data, except unfortunately it's already clicked. Big data involves processing data with analytics and algorithms tools to reveal meaningful information. It's a correct statement. I know you would know from your reading overview. Big data is an evolving term that describes any voluminous amount of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data that has the potential to be mined for information. This is absolutely correct. We read it right there in our text. Big data is often characterized by 4 V's: volume, huge data, variety of data, the speed with which the data is processed, and the veracity is dependable. So this is true. What is not true? The big data includes information collected from social media, true. Data from internet enabled devices, true. Machine data, true. Video and voice recordings, true. Till here the statement is correct. The information collected is converted from high density into low density, wrong. From low density to high density. This is totally opposite in order. Next. Which of the following statements defines data mining? A system used to develop firms' performance matrices or performance metrics. Well, a system doesn't develop performance metrics, management does. Management will develop the performance metrics, what and where we have to achieve what. So this is not correct. A process of using algorithms that serve to facilitate efficient communication within a firm. Well, that is not data mining. That is basically an intranet where the users within the organization, they can communicate relevant information within the firm. So this is incorrect. A system used to organize and interpret complex data to ensure the data has been accurately recorded in the database. That is database management system, not data mining, what we are looking for. So a process of using statistical techniques to extract and analyze data from large databases to discern, to distinguish patterns and trends. Absolutely right. That is data mining. Which of the following is included in the 4 V's of big data? Volume, yes. Velocity, yes. Variety, yes. All correct. The type of data analytics that is most likely to yield the most impact for an organization, but is also the most complex, is called prescriptive analysis. Yes, prescriptive analysis concentrates on what an organization needs to do in order to achieve what we want to. Diagnostic analysis identifies what has caused something, why something has happened. It gives us insight into the reason certain results occurred. Predictive analysis, it involves applying assumptions to data and then predicting the future results. And descriptive analysis, as you just say, you can just interpret it, it's just description, just basic description, and that is what is frequently used. It just concentrates on reporting the actual results with the limited utility as given by the above 3 systems. So that is the correct option, the type of data analytics that is most likely to yield the most impact for an organization, but also is the most complex. This is the most complex. And descriptive analysis is the most basic, simple facts reported. A simple regression equation has an R square of 0.85. We would know from our earlier studies in section B. This means what? It means, if converted into percentage, 85% variation in the dependent variable is because of the independent variable, or can be explained by the regression line. So 85% of the variation in the dependent variable y is explained by the regression line. This is the best fit, or it also determines how fit well 2 variables fit together. A hospital has observed an increase in the number of cases of a disease and has asked an analyst to collect data on the cases over the last 3 years. The analyst noted that the disease appeared 3 years ago during the second quarter of the year. Since then, the third and fourth quarters of each year showed significant spikes in the number of cases when compared to the first 2 quarters. What is the best way to represent or present this finding? 3 years and 4 quarters in 1 year. So 12 observations can be best represented not on pie chart or table or scatter plot. Bar graph would be the most appropriate. In regression analysis, the coefficient of determination R squared. It identifies what? Identifies the causal factor in the linear model, that is coefficient of correlation. Test the independent variable has no correlation with the dependent variable, that is again R, coefficient of correlation. Assesses how well a model can predict an outcome, that is correct. That's how best 2 variables are linked, dependent and independent, correct option. Next, a company developed the following multiple regression equation utilizing 10 years of data and uses it to estimate the cost of its product. Total cost is F, that is fixed cost, A times L, that is the labor rate per hour. A means the number of hours worked, and M represents the material cost per pound, and B is the number of pounds used. In other words, this equation will return or give you the total cost of production. Which of the following changes would most likely have the greatest impact on invalidating the result of this model? Which of these, if happens, will totally make this model unworkable for us? Changing the source of materials to a low-cost foreign source. If the material cost falls, we can always change M to a smaller number. So still the formula will be valid. A significant reduction in fixed or in factory overhead. So we can simply reduce F. No big deal. A significant change in labor productivity. Now this is something which we cannot incorporate in this formula. It's a qualitative factor, but it will affect your total cost of production as well as per unit cost. This is what will make this formula invalid. And moreover, renegotiation of union contracts resulting in higher wage rate. Higher wage rate can also be incorporated in the form of higher L. So that was C. Next. An organization wants to utilize business intelligence to assist in the evaluation of key metrics. The IT manager has suggested incorporating a dashboard feature in its BI tool. Which of the following is the main reason that the management should implement the dashboard feature? It shows patterns and trends in the data across the organization. Makes sense. It is designed to focus on metrics that have not been met. Well, a dashboard will only make visualization easier for the management for decision-making purpose, but it does not focus on metrics that have not yet been met. Then it can automatically generate reorders of important materials for production. Well, a dashboard is a visualization tool for decision making and for analysis. It does not place orders. So not correct. It allows management to have as many different charts as possible. Well, increasing the number of charts, how can it help the management to take decision? In fact, what a dashboard does, it standardizes charts so that they can be used across the organizations in a similar way. So the correct option here, it shows patterns and trends in the data across the organization. That's why we need uniformity in charts. Okay, next, business intelligence has all of the following characteristics except giving immediate information about an organization's critical success factors. That is true. We need to find the one that is not true. Displaying information in a graphical format. Yes. Providing advice and answers to top management from a knowledge-based system. That's wrong. That's an expert system. That's a description of an expert system. Focusing on strategic objectives. That is true for business intelligence. Cook Company's total cost of operating 5 sales offices last year were 500,000, of which 70,000 represented fixed cost. Cook has determined that total costs are significantly influenced by the number of sales offices operated across the country. Last year, costs and number of sales offices can be used as the basis for predicting the annual cost. What would be the budgeted cost for coming year if Cook were to operate 7 sales offices? This is in fact the question you might have done previously in your section B. Let's do that. Now, since fixed cost is 70,000 and 500,000 is the cost of running 5 sales offices. Out of this 500,000, 70 is the fixed cost. That means 430 is the variable cost of running 5 branches or 5 sales offices. It means 430 divided by 5 would be the cost to run one office, that is 86,000, okay, per office, and 70 is fixed. Now if you want to run 7 sales offices, so each sale office has a variable cost of 86,000 plus a fixed cost that is applicable to all in one go. 86 times 7 plus 70,000, that gives you 672. So that would make B to be your correct option. Okay. Box company uses regression analysis to estimate the functional relationship between an independent variable, cost driver, that is X, and an overhead cost, that is the dependent variable, also called Y. Assume that equation is being used, the following equation. What is the symbol of the independent variable? Let me link them all. Y is the dependent variable. A is also called the constant coefficient. B is the gradient or slope of the tangent of the line. X is the independent variable. So independent variable is basically X. So that would make B to be the correct option. A regression equation does what? It estimates the dependent variable Y based upon the independent variable's input. Correct. Mad Company estimated its material handling cost at 2 activity levels as follows. When 80,000 kgs are handled, the handling cost is 160. When 60,000 kgs are handled, the cost is 132. What is Mad's estimated cost for handling 75,000 kilos? So what you're going to do, first you're going to find the variable handling cost per kg. So how you can do that? Take the difference between these two, 160 less 132, the difference, 80 less 60, 20. So 160,000 less 132,000 divided by 20,000 gives you 1.4. So it means the cost of handling 1 kg of material is $1.4 per kg. This is the variable cost. Now we have to determine the fixed component also. Take any level you want. Let's say I'm going to take the lower level. So when 60 kgs are handled at the rate of 1.4, your variable cost should be 60,000 times 1.4 should be 84, right? Whereas your total cost at this level was 132. So the difference between variable cost and the total cost must be the fixed cost, which is 48,000. Now fixed cost is $48,000. Variable cost per kg of handling is 1.4. Now we have our cost function. Total cost is equal to 48,000 plus 1.4 times the kg handled. Since we want to estimate for 75, so you're going to write 48,000, which is the fixed cost, plus 1.4 times 75. As simple as that. So 75,000 multiplied by 1.4 plus 48 gives you 153, and that matches perfectly with your option D. Multiple regression differs from simple regression. I hope you remember, multiple regression uses many independent variables, whereas simple regression uses just one independent variable. So allows the computation of the coefficient of determination. No, has more independent variables, more than one. Next, multiple regression analysis involves the use of dash dash. Dependent variables are there in the multiple as well as in the simple regression analysis, and independent variable are also there. So we are specifically talking about multiple regression analysis. There is going to be one dependent variable and many independent variables. One, many, one and more than one. That makes C to be the correct option. In order to analyze sales as a function of advertisement expenses, when you advertise more, your sales goes up. The sales manager of the Smith Company developed a simple regression model given below. The model included the following equation, which was based upon 32 monthly observations of sales and advertisement expenses with the related coefficient of determination to be 0.9, that is R squared. Sales is equal to $10,000 plus 2.5 times advertisement expense. If Smith Company advertisement expense or advertising expenses is in 1 month is $1,000, the related point estimate of the sales is going to be. So it's simply going to replace advertisement with $1,000. So we're going to very simple, 1,000 multiplied by 2.5. To this add 10,000. So your anticipated estimated sale is going to be 12,500. That makes B to be the correct option. Next, the results of regressing y against x are as follows. The coefficient intercept is 5.23, slope 1.54. When the value of x is 10, the estimated value of y is. Now let me show you how to construct an equation when the data is given this way. Let me explain. This is your simple equation, linear equation, y is equal to a plus bx. Remember, y is the dependent variable dv, a is called the constant coefficient or sometime the intercept, b is the slope, and x is what we call the independent variable iv. Now since we have all what we need, we have our y-intercept, also called the constant coefficient 5.23, we have b as 1.54 multiplied by independent variable, that is 10, so it's going to be 15.4 plus 5.23, that gives you 20.63. that makes C to be the correct option. Next, for cost estimating, simple regression differs from multiple regression in that simple regression uses only one independent variable, while multiple regression uses more than one independent variable. Look no further, this is your correct option. In preparing the annual profit plan for the coming year, Fine Company wants to determine the cost behavior pattern for the maintenance cost. Fine has decided to use linear regression by employing the equation y is equal to a plus bx for maintenance cost. The results of the regression analysis are given below. A, which is the y-intercept, also called the constant coefficient, and B, 7.2884, which is called gradient, slope, or the variable coefficient. So since we have A and B, we are almost done. We can write down the equation y is equal to a plus bx. We have A to be 684.65. B is given as 7.2884. We simply need to replace the value of independent variable. This is 4. Simply replace 420. Based upon the data derived from the regression analysis, 420 maintenance hours in the month would mean that Fine Company's maintenance cost, rounded to the nearest dollar, would be budgeted at. Simply replace x with 420. It's going to be 420 times 7.2884 plus 684.65. It is a 3745.77, which is approximately 3746A. Next, the letter x in the standard regression equation is best described as independent variable. We just did that. The standard regression equation y is equal to a plus bx, the letter b is called the variable coefficient or sometimes slope of the regression line. Both are the same. Now we have been an extensive detail is given. Okay, fact pattern. In preparing the annual profit plan for the coming year, Wickens Company wants to determine the cost behavior of the maintenance cost. Wickens has decided to use the linear regression by employing the equation y is equal to a plus bx for maintenance cost. The prior year's data regarding maintenance hours and cost and the results of regression analysis are given below. These are the different cost levels at these hours of activity. We have been given A and B. We have been given standard error of A, standard error of B. We know what standard errors are. We discussed this in theory. Standard errors are the vertical distances in of the line that is drawn. So the farther these points are away from the line, higher is the standard error, and if they are closely knit, lower is the standard error. Standard errors of the estimate is 34.469. R squared, that is the coefficient of determination, is 0.99724. If Wickens Company uses high-low method of analysis, the equation for the relationship between the hours of activity and maintenance cost would be. So which means we won't be using these A and B, that is the constant coefficient and the gradient, or what you call the variable coefficient. We will have to find A and B using high-low method. Now let's see how we do it. Now first of all, you have to see the highest level of activity. 480, 520 appears to be the highest. And 300 appears to be the lowest. This is the cost at the lowest activity. This is the cost at highest activity. So you're going to first find the variable maintenance cost per hour of activity per hour. highest cost it is given as 4470 and the lowest cost is given as 2820 divided by 520 minus 300. Now if you net off 4470 less 2820, that is 1650, divided by the difference between 520 and 300, 220. So this will give you the variable coefficient, or B, 1650 divided by 220. It's 7.5. Now the second part, just take these two values and none of these others to be taken. Now we need to find the fixed cost. Let's take this highest level highest activity now. When 520 hours of activity were undertaken, the total cost was 4470. So 520 hours at the rate of 7.5 should give you a total variable cost of 520 times 7.5, that is 3900. But the total cost is 4470, which means the remaining would be fixed cost. This is variable cost, this is total cost. So the difference between variable and total cost will be the fixed cost, and that comes out to be 570. So fixed cost is 570. Now your equation would be total cost is equal to 570 plus 7.5 times the hours of activity. Just plug in the hours that we need, or do we have to find the equation? Equation is to be calculated, and we already have this equation, 570 plus 7.5. That makes D to be the right answer. Which of the following best describes unstructured data? First is the right answer. Information that is not organized in a predefined manner is called unstructured data. Each of the following represents a characteristic of big data. Mixture, yes, it is a characteristic of big data. Speed is, size is, but uniformity is not. Uniformity is not a characteristic of big data. Which of the following are key technologies of big data? In-memory analytics, data mining, and text mining. All of these are the technologies used in big data. Which of the following is a correct statement regarding Hadoop? It's a pure textbook based question. It is an open source software, Java based, that stores large amounts of data and runs applications on clusters of commodity hardware. This is clearly straight away from the textbook. Which of the following is a correct statement regarding in-memory analytics? Well, I hope you remember in-memory analytics mean the data, instead of being loaded on the hard drive, which are slow, we load the data directly into RAM, which are much faster. So it analyzes data from system memory, RAM, instead of hard drives, which are characteristically low because of the reason that it has some physical components that are slow to move. Which of the following is a correct statement regarding volume-based value? So when we say volume, we are talking about voluminous data here. So the more data we have, the more useful insights we can make. So the more business data I have on the customers, both recent and historical, the greater is the insight, so the greater the value. This is a pretty straightforward question. All of the following are correct statement regarding velocity based value. It's the speed with which the data is processed. So the computing power required to quickly process huge volumes and variety of data can overwhelm a single server or multiple servers. Organizations must apply adequate computer power to big data tasks to achieve the desired velocity. So having a greater powerful infrastructure to analyze lots of data is what you call the velocity based value, that is A. The computing power required to quickly process huge volumes and variety of data can overwhelm a single server or multiple servers. Organizations must apply adequate computer power, velocity to big data tasks to achieve desired velocity. This is a correct statement. The faster businesses can inject data into their data and analytics platform, the more time they will have to ask the right questions and seek answers. True. Rapid analysis capabilities provide businesses with the insight or right decisions in time to achieve their customers' relationship management objectives. A, C, D are correct statements, but this one, the more data businesses have on the customers, both recent and historical, the greater the insight. So this means this is not velocity. A, C, D are. So that is why it's the right answer. An automobile parts manufacturer has received complaints from customers about declining quality. After a quick review, management realizes the problem has no single source. To perform a thorough process of problem identification, the most appropriate tool is the fishbone diagram. I'm sure you remember from our overview. It's also called the root cause analysis. You will find many reasons why we are not able to produce up to the quality standard. So A is the right answer. The new purchasing director is analyzing purchase orders for the organization. Which of the following analysis would best be displayed on a histogram? The average turnaround time from issuing a purchase order to receiving the merchandise is 7 days. Review the last 2000 purchase orders and using 10 days as an upper control limit and 4 days as a lower control limit, graph the turnaround time for each. This is clearly the statistical control chart, what the data is all about. So this here in this situation, the statistical control chart is suitable, not the histogram. The organization purchased US 27 million worth of inventory in the past year. Distribute by value using 500 increments, the classes, the class width, the quantity of purchase orders that fall within each range. That is clearly histogram's input. Identify and organize the reasons the average turnaround time for purchase orders falls outside the control parameter of 4 or 10 days. Well, this is again a suitable candidate for fishbone diagram we discussed previously. So not the right option. Root cause analysis. In the past year, the organization placed 10,000 purchase orders. Organize the number of orders placed with each supplier sorted in descending order. When order is important, then we use Pareto diagram as discussed in our lecture. So this is not the right option. Moving on. The director of sales asks for a count of customers grouped in descending numerical rank by 1, the number of orders they placed during the single year, 2, the dollar amount of the average order. The visual format of these two pieces of information is most likely to be used in which of the following diagrams? Kaizen diagram is a nonsense term. Pareto diagram is the right answer as discussed in the previous question. Fishbone diagram is suitable when we want to find the root cause, and cost of quality report is suitable when we want to report 4 different types of cost of quality: appraisal, prevention, internal failure, external failure, and that is in dollar terms. So this is not the right tool to use here. Next. A health insurer uses a computer application to monitor physicians' bill amount for various surgical procedures. The program allows the organization to better control reimbursement rates. The X bar chart below is an example of the output from its application. We have been given the upper limit, the expected mean, and the lower limit. Select the interpretation that best explains the data plotted in the chart. Well, if our observations fall above and below the upper and lower limit, so that is what you call the abnormal variation, which requires further investigation. Statistical quality control often involves the use of control charts whose basic purpose is to, just saw that, to identify any deviation from upper or lower limits. So detect performance trends away from normal operations, upper and lower, anything above upper limit or below the lower limit. A manufacturer mass produces nuts and bolts on its assembly line. The line supervisors sample every nth unit of conformance with specification. Once a non-conforming part is detected, the machinery is shut down and adjusted. The most appropriate tool for this process is clearly statistical quality control chart with the upper and lower limits. So if the output is above or below these limits, then we need recalibration of our equipment. Chief Executive Officer believes that major competitors may be planning a new campaign. The CEO sends a questionnaire to key personnel asking for original thinking concerning what the new campaign may be. The CEO selects the best possibilities and then sends another questionnaire asking for most likely option. This process employed by the CEO is clearly Delphi technique. It was discussed in our overview, and if you have attended that lecture, then this should not be an issue. Cost volume profit model developed in a dynamic environment determined that the estimated parameter used may vary between limits. Subsequent testing of the model with respect to all possible values of the estimated parameter is termed as expected value analysis. Is used to determine an anticipated return or cost based probabilities based upon probabilities of events and their related outcomes. We have discussed that in our section B, planning, budgeting and forecasting. So not time series studies because it takes in time on the x-axis, and output cost or revenue on the y-axis. So this is not what we are studying at the moment. Sensitivity analysis, that makes sense. After a problem has been formulated into any mathematical model, it may be subject to sensitivity analysis. And what it is, it examines how the model's outcomes change as the parameters change, and exactly what we are looking for in this question. A cereal producer often receives complaints that boxes are underweight. To gather data on the extent of this problem, the producer should develop which of the following clearly statistical control chart with the upper and lower limits of the weights. So if there are deviations, then they must be identified, and your weighing machines or your production system must need recalibration. Which of the following can be discovered during the data mining process? Not artificial intelligence, rather previously unknown information, unknown patterns, correlation. Which of the following forecasting methods relies mostly on judgment? Regression is data-driven, time series model data-driven, sensitivity data-driven. Delphi is where we use judgment. Which of the following is critical success factor in data mining? A large data store. We want to identify some patterns, some correlations, some connections, some patterns, pattern recognition. Which of the following best describes the characteristics of big data? Data collected are free from useless information or incorrect variables. Wrong. It does contain useless information and incorrect variables. Big data is in a visual context such as graph or chart rather than a text format. This is incorrect because the data collected is primarily in the text formats. So not correct. Collected data often provides straightforward answers to the user. Wrong. This is wrong as well. So then it has to be C then. Data of untapped market is often not collected. So that's where we bring in big data for analysis. A company uses big data analytics in marketing. Which of the following is a limitation of using big data? Data collected only represents untapped customers but not the tapped customers. So this is the advantage. Untapped customers can then be analyzed and we can then attract them to us or our product or service. The company can use big data to predict customer behavior. Absolutely right. This is correct. This is correct. We're looking for the limitation. These two are advantages. Data results cannot be visualized to identify and forecast customers' trends. This is wrong. This is basically not a limitation. Data results cannot be visualized. They can be visualized. What is a limitation? Big data cannot explain why customers behave in a certain way. This is a limitation of big data, and that is our right answer. Data visualization. So data visualization is most useful to an audience when visualization tools present various items in different scales and skip values to highlight items emphasized by the presenter. This is wrong. If you remember the mistakes we make, that we miss the origins, and then those origins must include the data set. So the x and y axis must start from 0, and you should use the same scale for comparability. So this is incorrect. So data visualization includes visualization tools such as bubble charts, Pareto diagrams, box plots, and what-if analysis. As far as bubble charts, Pareto diagrams, I agree, but box plot is fine. But what-if analysis, it is not a data visualization tool, so this is the wrong option. So data visualization ensures the presentation of trends and correlations are understood by a wider audience without bias. This is incorrect because visualization can be misleading. Then what is the right option? Data visualization assists with big data analytics to display data results in a visual context that makes it easier to understand and interpret. Which of the following is the best practice for visualization tools to avoid distortion in the communication of complex information? Present various items in different scales. Wrong. They must be on the same scale for comparison. And skip values to highlight items emphasized. Do not skip value. Include all the values from beginning, from the axis start, x-axis as well as y-axis. This is incorrect. Use variant shades of the same color to represent subgroups classified under one group. So if you're using the shades of same color, this will be difficult for the viewers or for the decision maker to distinguish between these. So this is not the right approach. Wrong. Ask others for feedback before finalizing the design to ensure understandability. This is a good approach because presenter can then take feedback from others so that before he finalizes the report, so he knows what the people expect. So this is the right thing. Exclude calculations from the design to ensure the user can interpret data in their own way. Well, this is not right. The presenter can display calculations to avoid misinterpretation, because Hiding these could mean that the users can misinterpret the data. A car insurance company is considering opening branches in a foreign country. The country's population has been growing rapidly for the last 5 years. The company wants to know whether the number of car accidents are correlated with the recent population growth. Which of the following charts prepared by an analyst would most likely be helpful for the company? A scatter plot showing the number of car accidents on the y-axis and the population size on the x-axis. Well, this makes sense. If you take population growth on the x-axis, then the number of accidents can be plotted on the y-axis, indicating a correlation between these two variables, and easily understandable. It's perfect. Look no further. Next, Corporation B recently hired a financial analyst to improve its financial results. The analyst is interested in implementing a new type of project analysis that will help evaluate the effects of small changes in advertising expenses on sales. How advertisement changes the sales. The analyst believes that this form of analysis will help or will be useful in forecasting the impact of resource allocation decision. What type of analysis is the analyst attempting to implement? No root cause analysis. There is no expert opinion that is being solicited. No goodness of it. It's what if analysis. It is what if analysis, changing different variables and seeing how it's going to impact, like changing the inputs of advertisement and seeing how it is going to affect our sales. Correct. Which of the following is the primary advantage of a what if analysis? It summarizes opinions from many experts and feeds the summaries back to the experts without revealing participants to each other. This is Delphi technique. Wrong. It enables users to evaluate their outcomes by applying a goal-seeking approach. If we want to increase our sales revenue by 10%, what can we do? What if, what if, what if? This is the right answer. Look no further. The cost accountant is updating its fourth quarter budget. The annual goal of the cost saving is $56,000. The cost saving for the first, second and third quarter are $12,600 and $9,200. So if you just add these all, it's 12,000 plus 6,700 plus 9,200. So far we have been able to save 27,900. The gap is 28,100. The accountant performed an analysis to determine the cost saving required for the fourth quarter to achieve the annual goal. This is an example of time series analysis. No, because in time series analysis we take time on the x-axis and then we just project the future trends. Monte Carlo simulation, no, it is used to generate the individual value of a random variable, like a stock price, like the variable cost of a certain item. It is basically what if analysis. It is what if analysis, a process of determining the effects on outcomes in a model through changes in scenario. What can we do to achieve the remaining 28,100 cost saving? Next. What if analysis is also known as goal-seeking analysis. Just a straightforward question. Which of the following best represents the application of predictive analytics? A cost accountant monitors whether direct materials used are within the acceptable variations for the last 6 months, so you can use statistical control chart for that purpose. A human resource manager operates an analysis to show some departments have the highest employee turnover, Pareto diagrams. The website recommends pet toys and bedding after the customer purchases pet food. This is predictive analytics, just like the way we have on Amazon, we have it on AliExpress and Alibaba. If you purchase an item X, then the system will automatically relate what you might need with X so that that particular product is shown and so that your interest can be influenced. So that is correct. Then, which of the following techniques are most effective in identifying trends and patterns? Trend and patterns can best be analyzed: time series, exploratory data analytics, and predictive analytics. Look no further. This is the right answer. Exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis often develops assumptions at an early stage so that anomalies can be identified sooner than traditional techniques. This is not true because exploratory data analysis differs from traditional modeling methods by encouraging the data itself to reveal if there are some trends. Let the data speak for itself. This is called exploratory data analysis. So this is not true. Exploratory data analysis rarely uses graphical tools. Wrong. It does. Visual and graphical tools are used. It is incorrect. Exploratory data analysis aims to reveal patterns and discovers insights by uncovering the underlying structure of data. This is absolutely correct. Why not D? Exploratory data analysis is often used as a last step of the data analysis. Wrong. As the first and foremost step. Incorrect. Next. A consultant is analyzing company's sales reports on pants. The consultant has found that there are several unique patterns in the data. He noticed that there is a set of customers who purchased mainly 1 to 2 different types of pants in a year. This customer segment is the largest and is constantly growing. After further analysis, he found that the pants purchased by each of these customers have different sizes. More analysis revealed that these customers are small clothing retail stores. The consultant then started to analyze how the company can improve supply chain management and business relationship with this specific customer segment to improve profitability. The method used in analyzing the pattern is best described as no Monte Carlo simulation, no probability distribution. Wrong. Regression analysis, no two variables are being considered at the moment. It is not sensitivity analysis or goal seeking. It's exploratory data analysis. We're just trying to make sense of the data. That's why it's the right answer. An analyst is preparing a time series analysis for the sales of swimwear. He notices that for the last 3 years, the swimwear sales rise during May and August and fall during November and February. That's the winter. Which of the following patterns best describes the scenario? Swimwear are required in summer, not in winter, so it is seasonal pattern. There is no such thing as chronological pattern. Yes, there are cyclical pattern, also called the business cycle one, and the irregular. So this is incorrect, and the correct one has already been marked. Which of the following most likely shows a cyclical pattern? Economic data affected by recession, that is cyclical. Look no further. We just discussed that. Economic cycle. Growth, boom, decline, slump, again growth, boom, decline, slump. It goes on. Okay, which of the following most likely show an irregular pattern? Increase in GDP during expansion. Expansion and contraction of GDP is a part of business cycle, economic cycle, hence it is cyclical, not irregular. Okay, decrease in the number of tourists due to an earthquake. So earthquake is not something that happens regularly. It's an irregular pattern. It's a correct option. Decrease in the sales of an ice cream during winter. Clearly it's seasonal factor and it is regular. Increase in the number of tourists during weekends and holidays. Yes, it is repetitive. So it is regular, not irregular. So only irregular items are earthquakes. Time series analysis uses trial and error to determine the effect of changes in assumption on the outcome. No. It is sensitivity analysis, so incorrect. Analyzes current results against past activity to determine shifts in the trend. So using past to predict the future is what you call the time trends or the time series analysis. So this is correct option. Solicit opinions from expert, Delphi technique. Assist with the determining whether a sample is representative of the population that is sampling. And using that sample set, we set up what you call the goodness of fit test. Then, which of the following is in the correct order of the steps in data mining process? Okay, so let us analyze this. Alright, so first perform regression analysis. We haven't yet got the data. Let us first find where we can find the data. Identify anomalies and unusual data records. This is the first step. This should be the first one. Then find relationship between variables and group the relationship. This is the second step. Then generalize the relationship among data. This is the third step. Then you perform regression analysis to generate an equation that models the data, and then you can go for some prediction. And then finally, prepare visual representation and reports. This is the third. So if you go for this sequence, you will find this A to be the correct option. 1, 3. All right, next. The goal of structured query language SQL is to, this one is right one, create, update, retrieve and manage data within the database. Look no further, that is your right answer. An analyst is performing a sensitivity analysis on how changes in the inflation rate and the interest rate can affect bond prices. Which of the following most likely causes the sensitivity analysis to be inaccurate? Inflation is expected to increase in the next year, so this single factor can be taken to predict the bond price. Bond prices are extremely volatile to both changes in inflation and interest rate. This is yes, inflation and interest rates both influence bond prices. What we are looking for, which of the following most likely causes the sensitive analysis to be inaccurate? So A, B makes sense. Interest rates are affected by changes in inflation rate. These two variables are themselves connected and they both influence the bond price. So that is the problem for us, that in sensitive analysis we see one factor at a time, and when we combine these two all together, they affect each other as well as they affect the bond price, hence our right answer. So sensitive analysis is limited due to consideration of variables individually as opposed to all together. If both bond prices and interest rates are affected by change in inflation rate, the result of the sensitive analysis may be distorted. Last, an analyst completed a sensitivity analysis for sales and prepared the following graph. Based on the graph, which of the following is most appropriate conclusion? I need to have the graph in front. So based on the graph, which of the following is most appropriate conclusion? If the company has less than 2,000 to spend, advertisement expense has the lowest impact on sales compared to packaging expense and R&D. Now look at this. If you have less than 2,000 to spend, then advertisement will be activated, and then packaging and R&D come later. So at this position, advertisement expense has the most expense on sales. So this is incorrect. If the company has 2,000 to spend on one of the listed cost categories, it should spend it on the packaging to maximize sales. Again, if the company has this much money, it's right to spend it on advertisement to have the highest impact upon sales, because spending 2,000 on packaging means the sales effect is zero. So this is not right. The R&D expenses has the highest impact on sales compared to packaging expenses and advertisement expenses. Well, that would be true if the money spent is more than 5,000. At more than 5,000, R&D will have the highest impact because it's steepest. At less than 5,000, 2,000, R&D is good, but less than 2,000 advertisement. So this is incorrect as well. The last option, if the company has 6,500 to spend on one of the listed categories, it should spend on R&D. This is absolutely right, because after 5,000 of spending, the highest, steepest line is R&D. So this is the one that will have the greatest impact upon sales, and hence this is our right answer. This one. So this completes your analytics and big data. All the questions have been done.